Perform Phase 1 of the test with the engine off. Observe or record the data of the FTPS, and then vent the fuel system. The preferred method is to actuate the purge solenoid for at least 1 minute to vent the fuel tank pressure. Removing the gas cap or inserting the special fuel filling funnel will also quickly release the pressure. However, these methods can mask a leaking fuel cap or a binding door on a capless filler neck. Record the FTPS pressure value again and the eSIM switch state after the fuel tank pressure is vented. The FTPS pressure should be close to 0. This FTPS pressure reading is the baseline for the test procedure, 0 reference. A reading of -50 pascal to 50 pascal is normal after the system is vented, and the eSIM switch should be open. A closed eSIM switch would indicate a stuck switch or the signal circuit shorted to ground. If the fuel tank pressure does not change when actuating the purge solenoid, remove the fuel cap or insert the filling funnel to vent the tank and verify the FTPS data changes. Close the fuel system to begin Phase 2 by stopping the purge solenoid actuation, or installing the fuel cap, or removing the funnel. Phase 2 is a non-intrusive leak check. Monitor the FTPS for 2 to 3 minutes after the fuel system is closed and record the data. If the system does not have a large leak or a stuck-open purge valve, the pressure value should change from the baseline reading recorded in Phase 1. A change of more than 200 pascal indicates that the system is too unstable to obtain accurate results. Allow the vehicle to rest, acclimate to ambient temperature, and perform the entire test again. If the pressure does not change in Phase 2, continue testing through the remaining phases. Start the engine to begin the next step, Phase 3, which is a purge solenoid leak check. After starting the engine, document the eSIM switch state and the FTPS reading within 5 to 10 seconds. The purge solenoid should not be active during initial startup. Confirm that the scan tool shows the solenoid as off, 0% duty cycle. The FTPS pressure reading may drop 25 to 50 pascal due to the vacuum created by the fuel that is pulled out of the tank. If the pressure drops down to the regulation point, -500 pascal, it indicates engine vacuum is pulling vapor through a stuck-open purge solenoid. Leave the engine running to continue into the next phase. Phase 4 checks the eSIM switch function and begins the intrusive leak test that occurs in Phase 5. The purpose of Phase 4 is to allow enough purge activity to create a vacuum in the fuel tank greater than the set point or -600 pascal. It is important to shut the engine off immediately after the set point is achieved. Phase 4 can be performed in several ways. Engine purging is different for each engine or vehicle configuration. Some vehicles will start purging naturally, shortly after the engine is started. Other vehicles will need to have the engine speed increased to allow purging to begin. It is important to get purging to happen in the shortest time possible to prevent generating excess heat in the fuel and fuel tank. Excess heat can cause the vacuum created by purging to decay too quickly in the next test phase and lead to incorrect results. The FTPS reading should reach -600 pascal and the eSIM switch should close. If the vacuum does not properly increase to -600 pascal, then it indicates poor purge performance or a very large Evap leak. The eSIM switch should close between approximately minus 187 and minus 250 Pascal. If the eSIM switch status remains open, there is an open with the switch or wiring. After there is sufficient vacuum in the fuel tank, immediately turn off the engine and turn the key to the ignition on, engine off position. The pressure in the tank should be about minus 500 Pascal or slightly higher, less vacuum, if the eSIM valve bounced when the engine was turned off. Phase 4 is now complete. Record the data displayed on the scan tool template. Leave the engine off to perform Phase 5, which is an intrusive leak check. The vacuum in the fuel tank should remain between minus 250 and minus 500 Pascal for 4 minutes, and the eSIM switch should stay closed. Document the eSIM switch state and FTPS reading after 4 minutes. A leak is indicated if the vacuum decays above minus 250 Pascal in Phase 5 of the manual test. This should also cause the eSIM switch to open.